Now, we are going to look at some examples that prove that most countries are like this. And by the way, again, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to be very quick, short. But the point of this slide here is to very quickly show you how the system works to create currency. Now, the part that I really want you to focus on is the one that is encircled in a light green kind of squiggle. That one shows you that the bulk of the currency is actually created by the private banking system. The government only mints a tiny fraction of it. Okay, so this is literally how the multiplier works. It works when banks give out loans. When they create a loan, let's put it like this: if let's say like I put money in a bank account, let's say I put in $100, and somebody else goes and gets a loan for $100, do I, when I go to my online bank, do I notice like my account has gone down by $100 because somebody else borrowed my $100? No, it never moves. Why? Because that loan that the person took literally came out of thin air. Do you understand? So this is what does the multiplier trick. And now most currencies in the world are actually privately created. For example, on the left you see South Africa. The banks printed 22 times more than what's actually minted by the government. And in the United States, you can see over here, 85% of it is again private money. Some people even say it's more than that, 95%, but who's counting? Then here you got, and again, remember, this happens because of the debt trick. You understand? That's what the debt part is for. That's why we're saying the currencies are based on debt. Now, look, these two graphs show the amount of debt there is versus the amount of currency. Both government issued, which is, it's so small you can't see it. It's the little orange line. And then the bank issued is a big green line. And then the debt to create that system is the red line. Here we're looking at Canada and the United Kingdom. Okay. And wherever you look, all over the world, is the same story, okay? It's the same story in almost every country, 90-something% of the countries in the world. And hence the term banking system, because although we are talking of different countries around the world, they are all interconnected by one system, okay? So again, that shows you the big difference between bank-created money and government-issued notes and coins, okay? And these are just private bankers, just human beings like you and I. But they have the monopoly to issue debt-based currencies to the rest of the population and to demand that everybody use that and only that exclusively. Okay? Talking of the system, these are the top banking brands of the world. Okay? As you can see, there's a whole bunch of interconnectivity. Now, some people say, the government, the politicians, my senator, my MP is going to fix this. Look, according to this survey, which is a poll of 100 ministers, members of parliament and in the UK, 7 out of 10 MPs think that all the money in the UK comes from the government. You see? So they actually don't know how it works. Only 1 in 10 knew the reality. And this 1 in 10 really don't have the power to change anything, And most of them are sponsored by the same system. And that's so funny because the very Bank of England, when you look at their official documents, it says that just as taking out a new loan creates money, the repayment of bank loans destroys money. Banks making loans and consumers repaying them are the most significant ways in which bank deposits are created and destroyed in the modern economy. So the Bank of England is not even hiding it. It's saying it clear as day. Currency is created out of thin air. But even the politicians don't know that, Cool. So this has actually been nicknamed the Babylonian money magic slave system. I know some people don't like to hear that word Babylonian. Ooh. But it doesn't matter what the nickname is, Here's the point. Is to understand what it does, okay? I'll read what's on the screen. Because almost all our currency is on loan from banks, someone has to pay interest on nearly every unit of currency. Do you understand that? It's not just people who take loans from the banks, but everybody. is somehow paying interest on that currency. The whole system is designed on debt. Even if you get paid by somebody who comes to your shop and pays you money for, let's say you're selling candy, that note that you took from this person came originally down the chain link from debt. The whole system is built on debt. Okay, so this interest redistributes money from the bottom 99% of the population to the top 1%. That's how the system owners, the elites, the haves, get more. It's not really that they're so amazingly good at working hard and they're so ultra productive and that's how they're getting more. It is that the system is built to redistribute. Okay, that's the point. Okay. Meanwhile, inflation and financial instability all lead to a growing gap between the elite and the non-elite. In summary, the trick works like this. Private bankers give you worthless debt-based paper. They give you this currency in exchange for your real wealth, which, as we saw earlier, is your time, your freedom, and of course your hard assets. I mean, think about it. If you get a mortgage to buy a house, that's a hard asset. If you fail to make a payment, in exchange for the mortgage was just some numbers that were put in your bank account, like digitally. They were not real hard assets, they're just digital records. But if you fail to return those digital records, pay back your loan, then your hard asset, your house, is taken. You see, and meanwhile, you're exchanging your true wealth, your time and freedom for digital payments. I mean, to return the digital payment. You understand that system, right? And this is set up legally and structurally so that it is the, in quotes, only way to live. And there's all sorts of mumbo jumbo going on, so that, like, you don't even notice it, Cool.